The code compliance for railings is going to be using a system, and typically that's what they are today. They're powder coated aluminum and railing systems. One that is a reputable brand, and by being a reputable brand, I mean that they have third-party testing that ensures that they're IRC compliant. That is first and foremost, because there's a lot of knockoff versions of railings out there. You know, you can buy them on the internet, you can buy them wherever, that don't have that testing. And so they have to withstand 200 pounds of lateral force at the top rail and 50 pounds of horizontal force at any point inside the railing. So the way that's done is by having that third-party testing. So the other thing that needs to be ensured is that that railing is then installed per manufacturer's recommendations, meaning that if they require blocking underneath that post and so you're not just bolting to decking, you're bolting down through the decking to blocking, that needs to be done per manufacturer's guidelines, because that's how the railing system is tested, and that's what ensures that it meets IRC compliance. Same with, the number of fasteners that are used to test that rail, the type of fasteners that are provided for that railing system, all comes into play when you talk about a railing being code compliance. In Kansas City, the deck rail needs to be at least 36 inches above the deck height to be code compliant for a residential application. On the stairs, it needs to be between 34 and 38 inches, and that's measured vertically from the nose. The railing on the deck can also not have more than a 4-inch opening below the rail between the balusters, between the post and the house. That is an IRC guideline. That's a national guideline. On the stairs, there a 6-inch sphere cannot pass between the bottom rail and the riser board of the stair tread. That's an IRC compliance guideline. And there needs to be a grippable handrail along the stair rail. Those are all IRC compliance guidelines. Those are the main things. There's other things too, but those are the main focal points of code requirements. And then on stairs get, they get very stringent. You have a minimum tread depth of 6 inches. You have a maximum rise of 7 3/4 inches. You have a minimum stair nose of 3/4 inches and a maximum stair nose of 1 1/4 inches. All those things cannot have more than 3/8 of an inch discrepancy between any of them. So you can't have a 7-inch rise at the top stair and a 7.5-inch rise or a 6.5-inch rise anywhere else on that stair. They all have to, it's from the shortest to the tallest. Same thing with the tread depth, same thing with the stair nosing, same thing with the guardrail above the stair. So they're very, very picky about stairs, and most inspectors will inspect every inch of those stairs to make sure that they're code compliant, because that's where most injuries happen, is people falling down sets of stairs because they're not built correctly. The stairs, if you're using composite decking, the stringers, the supports for those stairs have to be 9 inches on center. And a lot of people build them wrong because they think, well, the composite decking, you can span joist 16 inches on center for a deck, but 16 inches on center for a stair. Well, it's not the same thing. When you're walking across the deck, you're not putting as much force on the deck board as you do when you walk down onto a stair. So as the body comes down, it puts more load onto the staircase. So 9 inches on center is what's required for composite decking, and 16 for wood decking. There also needs to be a stair footer underneath the stair heels, extending the full depth of the stair heel, so the stair can't shift or settle, and the stair heel cannot hang off the back of that footer, because if it does, over time that stair heel will break and split off. That stair needs to be bolted down to that footer so it can't move as somebody walks up and down it.